Today, we're going to talk about one specific fruit that might benefit your eyesight, particularly if you eat it in the evening before bed. That fruit is kiwi. Now, before you rush out to stock up on kiwis, let me walk you through what the research actually shows, why this might matter for eye health, what the limitations of the evidence are, and whether this is something you should consider adding to your routine. I've spent considerable time reviewing the published research on nutrition and eye health in older adults, and I want to give you a clear, honest picture of what we know and what remains uncertain. Let me start by being completely transparent about something. This isn't a magic bullet. Eating kiwi before bed isn't going to reverse serious eye conditions or eliminate the need for glasses. What we're talking about here is a potentially supportive dietary habit that may contribute to overall eye health as part of a broader approach to wellness. I want you to understand both the promise and the limitations of this information so you can make an informed decision about whether it's worth trying. Before we dive into why kiwi specifically might be helpful, let's talk about what happens to our eyes as we age and why nutrition matters. Your eyes are incredibly complex organs that require a steady supply of nutrients to function properly. The retina, which is the light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye, has one of the highest metabolic rates of any tissue in your body. It's constantly working, processing light information, and sending signals to your brain. This intense activity creates oxidative stress, which is essentially cellular wear and tear caused by molecules called free radicals. As we get older, several changes occur in our eyes. The lens becomes less flexible, which is why many of us need reading glasses after age 40. The amount of light that reaches the retina decreases because the lens gradually yellows and thickens. Our eyes produce fewer tears, leading to dryness. The macula, which is the central part of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision, becomes more vulnerable to damage. These are normal age-related changes, not diseases, though they can increase our risk for conditions like age-related macular degeneration, cataracts, and glaucoma. Here's where nutrition comes in. Your eyes need specific nutrients to maintain their health and function. Antioxidants help neutralize those free radicals I mentioned, reducing oxidative damage. Certain vitamins and minerals support the structural integrity of eye tissues and the biochemical processes that enable vision. While eating the right foods won't stop aging, good nutrition can support your eye's natural defense and repair mechanisms. Now, let's talk specifically about kiwi and why this fruit keeps coming up in research about eye health. Kiwis are remarkably nutrient-dense. A single medium kiwi contains more vitamin C than an equivalent amount of orange. It's also rich in vitamin E, vitamin K, folate, and potassium. But the compounds that seem most relevant for eye health are lutein and zeaxanthin. These are carotenoids, which are plant pigments that give fruits and vegetables their colors. Lutein and zeaxanthin are unique because they concentrate in the macula of your eye, where they act as natural filters for harmful blue light and as antioxidants to protect against oxidative damage. Let me walk you through some of the research. A study published in the journal Nutrients in 2022 examined the lutein and zeaxanthin content of various fruits. The researchers found that kiwis contain significant amounts of these carotenoids, with gold kiwis containing even more than green varieties. What makes this interesting is that the lutein in kiwi appears to be highly bioavailable, meaning your body can actually absorb and use it efficiently. This was demonstrated in a small study from 2021 published in the Journal of Nutritional Science, where researchers gave 20 adults either a kiwi-based supplement or a control for 12 weeks. Blood tests showed that lutein levels increased significantly in the kiwi group, and interestingly, these levels remained elevated for several hours after consumption. Now, why might eating kiwi before bed specifically matter? This is where the evidence becomes more speculative, and I want to be honest about that. The theory is based on research showing that many repair and regeneration processes in the body are most active during sleep. A study from 2019 in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews discussed how the retina undergoes significant metabolic activity during sleep, clearing out metabolic waste products and repairing cellular damage that occurred during the day. If you consume nutrients that support these processes shortly before this nighttime repair period begins, the thinking goes, they might be optimally positioned to help. There's also some research on kiwi and sleep quality that's relevant here. A study published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2011 had 24 adults eat 2 kiwis 1 hour before bedtime for 4 weeks. The participants fell asleep faster, slept longer, and reported better sleep quality compared to the baseline period. The researchers suggested this might be due to kiwi's high serotonin content and antioxidants. Since good sleep itself is important for eye health, there may be a double benefit here, though this is somewhat speculative. Let me give you another piece of the puzzle. A 2023 study in the journal Antioxidants looked at whether the timing of antioxidant consumption affects their protective effects. The researchers found that antioxidants consumed in the evening had different metabolic patterns than those consumed in the morning, potentially related to our circadian rhythms. While this study didn't look specifically at eyes, it suggests that timing might matter for how nutrients are used in the body. Now, I need to be very clear about the limitations here. Most of the research on lutein, zeaxanthin, and eye health has looked at these nutrients from various sources, not specifically from kiwi. We have good evidence that higher dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin is associated with lower risk of age-related macular degeneration and cataracts. A large meta-analysis published in the British Journal of Nutrition in 2022, which combined data from multiple studies involving over 100,000 people, found that people with the highest intake of these carotenoids had about a 26% lower risk of late-stage macular degeneration compared to those with the lowest intake. However, most people in these studies were getting their lutein and zeaxanthin from leafy greens like spinach and kale, not from kiwis. The specific idea of eating kiwi before bed for eye health doesn't have direct clinical trial evidence behind it. We're connecting several pieces of research. Kiwi contains beneficial nutrients for eyes. These nutrients are well absorbed from kiwi. Timing of nutrient intake may matter, and kiwi consumed before bed may improve sleep, which supports eye health. Each of these points has some research support, but they haven't been tested together in a rigorous clinical trial focused on eye health outcomes. This is important to understand. The recommendation is based on plausible biological mechanisms and suggestive evidence, not on definitive proof. Also, individual responses vary considerably. Some people don't like kiwi or are allergic to it. Some people find that eating fruit before bed causes digestive discomfort. Some people are already getting plenty of lutein and zeaxanthin from other sources, so adding kiwi might not make a noticeable difference. And of course, if someone has serious eye disease, eating kiwi isn't going to replace medical treatment. So let's talk about practical recommendations. If you're interested in trying this, here's a sensible approach. Start by adding 1 kiwi to your evening routine, ideally about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. You can eat it on its own, add it to yogurt, or blend it into a smoothie. Gold kiwis tend to be sweeter and may contain slightly more lutein, but green kiwis are perfectly fine and often less expensive. The skin is actually edible and contains additional fiber and nutrients, though many people prefer to peel it. Pay attention to how you feel. Some people notice better sleep quality within a few days. Any effects on eye health would take much longer to manifest and probably wouldn't be noticeable in how your vision feels day to day. The real benefit, if there is one, would be in long-term risk reduction for age-related eye conditions. That's not something you can directly perceive. If you find that eating kiwi in the evening causes acid reflux or disrupts your sleep, the timing isn't right for you. You could try eating it earlier in the evening or simply include kiwi in your diet at other times of day. The evidence for the specific before-bed timing is weaker than the evidence for simply consuming these nutrients regularly, so don't force a timing that doesn't work for your body. You should also think about this as one component of an eye-healthy diet, not as a standalone solution. Other foods rich in lutein and zeaxanthin include leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collards, as well as eggs, corn, and orange peppers. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish support eye health. Vitamin C from various fruits and vegetables is important. Zinc from meat, shellfish, and legumes plays a role. A varied, colorful diet that includes multiple sources of these nutrients is almost certainly better than relying on any single food. Let me also address hydration, which often gets overlooked in discussions of eye health. Your eyes need adequate hydration to produce tears and maintain the health of the cornea. If you're eating kiwi in the evening, that's fine, but make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day. Kiwi itself is about 83% water, so it contributes to hydration, but it shouldn't replace regular water intake. If you're taking any medications, particularly blood thinners, you should know that kiwi contains vitamin K, which can affect blood clotting. One kiwi contains a moderate amount, probably not enough to cause problems for most people, but if you're on warfarin or similar medications, consistency in vitamin K intake matters. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about whether adding daily kiwi to your diet could affect your medication. Similarly, if you have kidney problems, you need to be cautious about potassium intake, and kiwis are moderately high in potassium. Again, one kiwi probably isn't a problem for most people, but individual situations vary. When in doubt, ask your healthcare provider. What about people who already have eye conditions? If you've been diagnosed with macular degeneration, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, or other eye diseases, eating kiwi is not a substitute for medical treatment. However, supporting your overall nutritional status is still important. The AREDS-2 study, which is one of the landmark studies on nutrition and eye health, found that specific high-dose supplements of vitamins and minerals slowed the progression of intermediate macular degeneration. If you have an eye condition, your ophthalmologist may have already recommended specific supplements. Adding kiwi to your diet could complement but not replace those recommendations. Let me be clear about when you should seek medical attention for eye concerns. If you experience sudden vision loss, even if it's temporary, that's an emergency. Flashes of light or a sudden increase in floaters, especially if accompanied by a shadow or curtain in your peripheral vision, could indicate retinal detachment and requires immediate evaluation. Severe eye pain, particularly if accompanied by nausea, could indicate acute glaucoma. These are all situations where you need to see a doctor right away, not try dietary interventions. For less urgent concerns, you should still see an eye care professional regularly. Adults over 50 should have comprehensive eye exams every 1 to 2 years, even if vision seems fine. Many eye conditions, including glaucoma and early macular degeneration, don't cause noticeable symptoms until significant damage has occurred. Early detection makes a huge difference in outcomes. If you notice gradual changes in your vision, such as increased difficulty reading, trouble with night driving, colors seeming less vibrant, or straight lines appearing wavy, these warrant a visit to your eye doctor. Don't wait for your regular checkup if you notice concerning changes, and certainly don't assume that eating kiwi or any other dietary change will address these symptoms without professional evaluation. Let me bring all of this together for you. The research suggests that kiwi is a nutrient-rich fruit that contains compounds beneficial for eye health, particularly lutein and zeaxanthin, which concentrate in the retina and may help protect against age-related eye damage. These nutrients appear to be well absorbed from kiwi. There's also some evidence that kiwi consumed before bed might improve sleep quality, and good sleep supports the eye's natural repair processes. The specific recommendation to eat kiwi before bed for eye health is based on connecting these various pieces of evidence, but it hasn't been tested directly in clinical trials focused on eye health outcomes. The practical steps are straightforward. If you want to try this, eat one kiwi 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Pay attention to how your body responds. If you sleep better and have no digestive issues and you enjoy kiwi, there's little downside to continuing. The potential eye health benefits would be long-term and not directly noticeable, but kiwi is a nutritious food regardless. Remember that this should be part of a broader approach to eye health that includes a varied diet rich in colorful fruits and vegetables, regular eye exams, not smoking, protecting your eyes from excessive sun exposure, and managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure that can affect your eyes. Individual results will vary. What works well for one person might not work for another. If you have existing health conditions or take medications, discuss any significant dietary changes with your healthcare provider. The most important thing is that you're taking a thoughtful, informed approach to supporting your eye health as you age. If you found this information helpful, I'd appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to this channel. I'm committed to providing evidence-based health content for adults over 50, and your subscription helps me continue creating these videos. If you know someone who might benefit from this information, sharing it helps spread accurate, balanced health information. I also read the comments, and if you have questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future videos, please let me know. I try to address common questions in upcoming content. As always, remember that this is educational content, not medical advice. For decisions about your specific health situation, consult with your healthcare provider who knows your medical history and can give you personalized guidance. What I've shared today is meant to inform and empower you to have better conversations with your doctor and to make thoughtful choices about your health. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.